Well. Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Bill Janishak, and I have a different hat on. Yet I'm not really wearing a hat. I'm here talking about the LA Tribune and the LA Tribune's Leadership Week that I'm very excited about. And this week, I'm going to be bringing on some guests and stuff. We're going to be hosting the Leadership and Health Fair. It's going to be a small segment on the whole outstanding week that we have with the LA Tribune, where they're bringing on, amazing lineup of guests, and it's absolutely free. So make sure that there's a ticker downstairs. Get on there and register. Like I said, it's free, but we want you to register on that so that we know what eyes are going to get on there, and to keep you apprised of everybody that's coming on, because it's going to be 7 days of just bam, bam, bam. There's not a lot of fluff in this. It's going to be this is something that people would pay like tens of thousands of dollars to be around these groups of people, and I'm honored and blessed to have my small part of there. And I'm going to be talking about and hosting on May 4th from 10 to about 2:30 leadership in healthcare, where we're going to be talking about cutting edge technology, the people that are taking healthcare to the next level. And we do need a next level. There's no doubt in my mind, and if you just look around about what's going on in the world about our food, our exercise, healthcare, the cost of healthcare. Even though we have healthcare, we can't get it, and arguments and insurance payments and blah blah blah, and we're missing out on all the innovations and all the technologies that we've had to make our lives not only healthier, making our the season or the winters of our lives even more vital and enthusiastic than ever before. So in part of that, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of things, but one of the things that is resonating, that when I talked to Mo Rock, the CEO of the LA Tribune, he says, you better do something on mental health. You work with a lot of neurology and people that are depressed and yada, yada, yada. And it's something that he really was passionate about getting out, because pain is one thing, but once you get into the mental aspect and the 6 inches between the ears, if they're not working, life's really not worth living. I mean, if it doesn't matter how much money you have, and it doesn't really how much health you have, whether you're in pain or not, or you're not feeling good, if you are not able to enjoy life and you are not waking up passionate and alive and just ready to go and excited, like like a 9-year-old kid on Christmas Eve, as waiting for Santa Claus to come, then there's an issue. So, and one of the guests I want to bring up, Tip Metajan. Tip, come on up over here. You're going to be joining us on the healthcare panel, or the mental health care panel, and I want to kind of give you a little accolade about why the hell are we talking to you. So everybody listening, Tip is she's been teaching mindset and mental health for over a decade. She's spoken, she's an author, everything along those lines, and she's been in the trenches. She's been doing everything that she can to make that happen. And then I'm going to say a little, you kind of flipped. Well, you didn't really flip. I guess you accelerated. You put your foot on the pedal to reach more people. And tell me a little bit. Actually, I want to put a pin in that, because I want to know about, as it comes to mental health, what are you seeing in the people in the groups that you work with regarding mental health?
Well, first of all, thank you for that amazing introduction. I am so honored just to be a part of your panel and your group, and you're just doing so many great things. So first of all, thank you for that.
My pleasure.
um you mentioned seasons when you were speaking,
Yes.
and that is exactly the point that is resonating with everybody right now. We are in seasons. Our life goes in seasons. we have 4 seasons, and you mentioned the winter season. Winter season is that season where we're just like, "Holy moly, how are we gonna recover from this?" And many times what I'm seeing in the market is this is coming from fatigue. It's coming from passion fatigue, overthinking fatigue, compassion fatigue. Whatever fatigue is happening in their lives, it is strong. It has got that grip on that person, and they just can't let it go, and they can't seem to recover. No matter how much they're sleeping, no matter how much they're resting, they just can't get into this state of peace and relaxations within their minds. So if we can get them out of that fatigue, that's where the sweet spot is.
You know what? That's really cool because I've talked a lot of people about mental health, and that was the first time it was brought up in that way. And I work a lot with the body. We're doing lab tests. I'm doing physical exams. I'm seeing people, and there's definitely adrenal insufficiency, uh, dopamine deficiencies, serotonin deficiencies are something that I see a lot. And it first manifests in headaches, neck pain, back pain, stomach problems. I don't want to get out of bed, brain fog, hormonal issues. Um, what are some of the signs that people will come to you? What are they? What are they? What are they? Because they don't come up and they say, "I'm fatigued and I just can't seem to recover." But what are the first signs that you'll see when you go, "Aha, I need
Overthinking. Overthinking. I can't turn off my brain. That's the number one thing people say to me when they give me a call. They say, "I can't turn off my brain. I'm overthinking." What do you do?
Wow." So, what do you do at that point?
I talk to them first. What are they overthinking about? Is it something that is within their control, or is it something out of their control? A lot of times I find that the things that are within our control are thoughts, right? That's the thing that causes the most friction in their lives because their thoughts are so scattered everywhere. Their thoughts are so external instead of being internal. Well, let me give you an example, an analogy actually. Boats. Do you like boats?
Hmm? I like boats. I like
I get motion sick on boats, so I don't particularly like boats. But boats, they're surrounded by water all the time. Is it the water that drowns them when they sink? No, it's not the water that drowns them. It's not the water that surrounds them, but it's the water that gets into the boat. That's what sinks the boat. So for us, that's our internal thoughts. Our internal
Oh,
thoughts are the things
that's
that
an
sink us.
awesome analogy. That is an awesome analogy. Wow.
Thank
You know
you.
what? You're just being unique left and right on all the interactions so far. It's not the same old, same old. Um,
Well, that's just
Well, you're
the
just
fun in
rolling it
things.
off. Innovate. Well, innovation is a form of leadership. And I asked you before we went on here, I said, this is Leadership Week. This is leadership in healthcare. And this is just like one example of it. This is a new way of thinking. It is, we're all on boats and we're surrounded by water. What's keeping the water in the ocean and not on the deck of my boat?
Yep.
How are you addressing it? I mean, are there more people coming up? Do you see the same demographic? Is there a new demographic? Is there something that's surprising you in the people that are coming to
You
see you?
know, I I started posting on YouTube, and I look at my audience a lot. And at first, it was mainly women watching my videos, and now it's become 50-50 men and women.
So they're
Both
holding.
Yeah, both populations are they're holding strong and needing this information, needing a grip on their mental health, needing some help just to relax their mind.
Well, now that's what I wanted to put a pin in before, is because we're talking about leadership and what it's doing. Leadership is literally holding the flag, pointing in the direction, says, "Follow me." And I know personally that you've had professional strains, personal strains, and you truly walk your talk and you are apply. Sometimes in different industries, uh, people can get on the podium or on the stage or at the head of the line and they say, do as I do, but not as I, or do as I say, but not as I do. And you're not doing that. You're actually working the trenches. And with that, very recently, you'd mentioned YouTube. You turned to YouTube that you didn't have a presence on. Is that correct?
Correct.
Did
I
you, I
did
mean,
not.
did you have a channel and it was just sitting there like mine? Or did you have nothing?
So about 2019 or something, I decided I wanted to do some videos for YouTube. So I did, and it was not very good. Let's be realistic, not very good. And it got maybe like 135 subscribers or so, but then COVID hit and I was doing interviews and nobody wanted to do interviews anymore because COVID hit and Zoom and all these virtual meeting places, they didn't exist as much back then. So I was like, okay, you know what? I am busy with my daughter anyway. She's special needs. Let's just shut that down. And I didn't post anything. And about 2 months ago, I decided I need to get this out to more people, just like the Los Angeles Tribune is doing with Leadership Week. They're reaching more people with this leadership. And I needed to do the same thing because what good is it to have this knowledge and not share it with the population and help the world become a better place? Because not only are you in it, but I'm in it, and let's just make it a better place to live in. So because of that, I decided to post videos onto YouTube, and been fortunate enough to where in 2 months' time, we're at 15,000 subscribers now. But it's that wanting to change our own mindsets, and for me to change my own mindset was just an incredible thing to do. Like you said, I live it, right? And I think that is just so important. You have to live what you teach. You can't be not living it and
Well,
teach. People don't see the authenticity in that too.
no, and I know you personally, and so like when you come out and say something, and I'm like, wow, that was impressive, because one of the things when you mentioned fatigue, one of the things that happens when you're fatigued, you don't have any energy, and you don't have any energy to move forward, to move backwards. You're just like, ugh. And we know from just psychology and mindset training is that um, the the two main things. I'm a big proponent of the dark side. I mean, Darth Vader has nothing on me, because when I want to go back in, sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns they're just wonderful to play in the fields and like that. But when I want to get shit done, when I got to move forward, I got to go deep, and we've got to just keep going, and we use fear and anger, because fear and anger will push you forward. It'll pull you through, and that to me will develop that courage. When you're fatigued, and it's usually not, listen, I'm a physiology guy. We have a lot of energy and we store a lot of energy, and our society stores a lot of energy, and you can just see it walking down the street. So it's not physical energy that you can't tap into. A lot of time it's that emotional energy. So when we see you going on, it takes courage to follow, but it also takes courage to lead. What made you to step up and go, F this? I'm not going to be sitting around with 135 crappy videos. By the way, that's about 10 times more than my subscribers in it. So I'm not doing it. But you have the cute little tip smile, and you have the tip attitude and everything. Yeah. Um, but what was the moment when you said, bam, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this 1,000%?
You know, it like you said, we talked about this a little bit before in the beginning, of our conversation, and when it comes to leadership, I think I've had the leadership stuff since I was a kid because I was that weirdo child that did not conform with anybody, that was so different in my school, had the different name alone was a reason just to be like, "Okay, I'm definitely different." But really what shot me up to do what I'm doing now and put the YouTube videos up and all that is my daughter. My daughter, we had this incident. I don't wanna call it an incident, it wasn't an incident, but we were shopping out at the mall, and my daughter doesn't walk, as you know, and she's 6 years old, she's in her little stroller, she doesn't have shoes on because she hates shoes, and some lady comes up to us and she goes, "Why don't you strap on some shoes on her and let her run around?" And I I just stopped, and I didn't get mad, I didn't get frustrated, but I felt sad. Not for me, but for her that she didn't understand what was what was going on. And from that perspective, I was like, "You know what? There's not enough education out there. There's not enough people loving each other." I know she was probably coming from a place of love, but there are other ways to express love, and I don't think that we know quite how to express that love too. So I kind of saw it in society that love and compassion is what we need, and I think a lot of times we don't have that capacity to show that love and compassion because of the fatigue, because we are on energy saving mode all the time. Because, like you said, we wanna have that excitement in life, and a lot of people, what they have is excitement to go to sleep at the end of the day,
Yeah, yeah.
and and in yeah, and instead
It's
of
weekend mentality.
yeah, the weekend mentality 24/7 though, and I think to get that shift from, "Man, I am so excited to go to sleep tonight," to, "Dang, I'm excited to wake up because I have this and this and this lined up for me." That's what I want for people. That's what I saw in people, that's what I see that our population needs, and that's what I wanna help people with.
So, did you look at her and so you didn't punch her in the face?
No, I gently just said, "She can't do that." And she kinda looked at me like, "Oh, okay." And then she still I still felt like she didn't quite understand, so I did explain to her, you know what, she doesn't walk, she is working on it, but she can't do it herself right now, and she doesn't like shoes. And we actually had a nice conversation, and she's actually become one of my friends on Facebook because of it. But because of her, it kind of just catapulted me to go, "We need to be spreading that love." And if I was another parent, not saying that all parents are like this, but if I was another parent that was in fatigue mode, maybe they had their last straw somewhere, they would have blown up on this lady. They would have been like, "Are you kidding me? You're saying this to me," without having that compassion to understand where she might be coming from.
Yeah, so I wanna go back to what I said before is that with leadership and with you living in the trenches and having that mindset because, when you have a trained mind, yeah, well, most people have a filter. I don't have a filter. I don't have a different kind of filter, but I don't usually get upset either because you're kind of looking at what are they really thinking and feeling like that? And for you to have the control, and I know the story about your mindset and when you're dealing with muggles, that it kind of gets you in trouble because they don't understand is why is she not going off on this, this lady in the mall, and how dare her, and do that, because we're thinking inside over here instead of the 360 mindset view. And the fact that you're in the trenches and actually, and a special needs daughter, a single mother, an entrepreneur, a YouTuber coming out, is you're busy and just like that. So if anybody deserves to be fatigued, it's you. And so as a living example of you don't go, do as I say, not as I do. You're standing up there on the shoulders of your experience saying, do as I do. It worked for me. I know it works. It can work for you. And
Absolutely.
I think that's so, it's refreshing in the standpoint of watching somebody. You're like a little mental Goggins. It was, except you don't have his vocabulary maybe, but it's the same thing. So in the special needs world, in the mindset world, in the YouTubing world, everything else is that this is why I wanted you on the panel, helping me out with mindset, is because we're going to have some practitioners. We're going to have some people that are teaching you the techniques and the processes and stuff like that. It's rare that we're going to get somebody that is teaching and doing them daily on that. And I think that's really exciting. I just want to kind of go back to your YouTube explosion. Did you went home that day? Did you buy your mic and your camera and everything else and said this, and then automatically, plan, this is what I'm going to do and this is how I'm going to execute, and then just go, and then the universe brought it to you?
I sat and I meditated a lot.
Hippie.
I know. I know. I love my meditation. What can I say?
I'm with
I
you.
I've been sitting and meditating on this for quite a while, and it just wasn't the right time. Everything else in life got in my way, and suddenly I got the message, "Hey, you need to do it now." And I did. I did exactly what you said. I went out, got the camera, I got lighting, I got the microphone, got new laptop, got all these things, made my little filming area and set my mind to it. And I remember telling one of my friends, I hate the camera. I hate the camera. I hate recording. I hate looking at a camera and recording because there's no energy behind it. And I knew I had to do it anyways. It was just such a strong message that came out to me when I was meditating that you have to do this now. You have to start now. So I did.
And again, it's another example of uh going out. And I'm a big Thoreau guy, and one of his famous quotes is, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. And so when we get our mind right and our energy right, and the meditation is great because you're aligned with your thoughts and your actions, and you go forward, and you generate that courage to get even better. And that's exactly what you've done. And I think it's awesome. And you blew up to 15,000 subscribers now. Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
we're at 16,000. 16, yeah, 16,500 or something like that.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and all those people watching right now, that's in little over 2 months, right?
Mhm. Yep.
So I wanted to have a leader that was actually leading and doing the things, and I wanted to talk to you about that. I mean, it's really nice to talk. What did you do on YouTube? but I'm more interested in on who are you to do that on YouTube and how you're leading. You're going to be on the healthcare panel. What do you expect out of the leadership week?
Oh, I am so excited for the lineup of speakers. Like,
Yeah, I know it's
we
crazy.
we had one of those secret speaker meetings, and oh my gosh, the lineup is just so fantastic. Everybody has so much value to give. They all have different perspectives. We all are different people. We are built from the same tree, but our leaves all look different. And because of that, there is just so much knowledge and so much to spread around. Something that you and I may think we know, maybe we hear it from someone else on Leadership Week, and we're just like, oh, that just hit an aha moment that we've never had before. And I love those. I love these events because of that.
Yeah, well, you know what? And I'm amazed on the way the Tribunes put this together because I mean, literally 5 years ago, this is a $20,000 minimum week to get these people dropping the gold, and nobody's holding back. Nobody's going, oh, here's my teaser seminar, here's this, and here's that, and you can get the real stuff. No, they're dropping bombs time after time and time. We have the sponsors coming out to get the message out even further, and it's for the cost of logging on.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody in there is going to go over and we're going to grow a better community. And ultimately, that's what we want. We're going to grow more leaders. And, during what I like to refer to as communism that we had in, 2020 with that flu that was going around, um, people shrunk. And I think that's where your fatigue, that's where, it was hit hard. And there's some people that broke. There's some people that were injured. A few people got stronger, but there's another segment of the population that were just developing, and they were developing into this energy in the the whole societal thing of fear and shrinkage and getting smaller and smaller, and it stunted their growth. And I'm excited for what you do, and the fact that the fact that you're putting stuff out on YouTube is awesome because people scroll, and it's the kids thing.
Mhm.
And I think you're helping so many people with your platform of who you are and what you do. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you on the panel. And I think I'm just going to head out from this point. Any last things you want to share? You want to entice people to come over and hear your wisdom?
You know, it's your humor too that entices people. So
Oh, that's not funny.
so if anything, come and enjoy Dr. Janishak here's humor that you will have on the panel for sure.
All right. Well, awesome. Well, and everybody listening, we've got that ticker going down. Go register at laleadershipweek.com. Put your name in and pop in. Stay the whole time. Do the marathon thing if you can. If not, look at the lineup and look who's out there. You're going to find one of your favorites, and you can't be disappointed. It's a deal at quadruple the price. So until next time, we're going to peace out. All right. Thanks, Tip. I appreciate it.